And every time that the United States attacks its own working class, it runs into significant internal difficulties. Sometimes take very right-wing forms, as, for example, Donald Trump, but it runs into difficulties. So the other method is you get the rest of the world to pay for your problems. You use your economic clout, which is essentially your technical superiority, to force them to supply you with cheap raw materials, products of cheap labor, minerals, agricultural, basic products. That's imperialism. That's what imperialism is. And this was very well described by an Indian economist in the 1920s, 1924, a greatly neglected thinker called M.N. Roy. And he simply says, look, the rich countries of the world, they didn't call them the West at that time, they just called them the rich countries, they exploit the labor of 4/5 of the world. But the poor countries can only exploit the labor of their own country. So they obviously have an enormous advantage. They've got the whole world working for them, but the whole world doesn't want to work for them. And so you have this almost gut reaction that has come out after the war with Russia, the Ukraine-Russia war, where country after country, including countries one would not have expected it if you just judge it from the moral standards of the USA. Countries with quite right-wing governments, authoritarian, repressive governments, Saudi Arabia, India, are saying, no, we're not going along with this. And the recent visit of United States plenipotentiaries to Africa was a complete disaster. That these African leaders that they confronted, who were being told, go along with us and fight Russia, said, no, we're not going to. We like working with China. We like working with Russia. It's better than what we got from you. So there's a general atmosphere of revolt amongst that 4/5 of the world who says, we're fed up being made into the solution for America's problems. Now, the danger that China presents in this respect is it shows that you don't have to. It shows that you can develop your own economy. Justin Li Fuyin put this very well in a contribution I read, in which he calls it the new economic model. Some people, I'm included, would say that it's actually socialism, which is the view of the Chinese government, and I basically go along with that. That it's more economically successful than even the United States. Now, this is the first time let's call it a country of the global south or the third world, has not merely challenged the United States, but is getting out of the trap that the United States puts everybody in. It's not allowing itself to be the exporter of primary goods. It's surpassing the USA in many areas of technology. I don't want to exaggerate, because the true standard of technological achievement is not just how many patents you have, but how well your people are doing. But you see, the policies of China have done enormous amount to eradicate the lowest levels of poverty, and I think will, in time, now probably begin to eliminate the inequality which has grown under the marketization of the Chinese economy. And that's a phenomenal technological achievement. There's no country in the world has raised so many people out of poverty in such a short space of time at all. So this is the real threat that China presents to the USA, is it's not allowing itself to be ground down by the USA. Now, then the question is, what can you do? China can't stop the USA's decline. It can contribute to the solution by giving an example that hopefully American people will start to follow. And I think that's a very real possibility and has to be worked towards. But ultimately, the solution lies in the hands of American people and the European people. And the answer consists of saying no to the USA. Can't do it that way. Can't carry on the way you've done. You're going to have to try something else. So this is the sort of main conclusion I came to.